Hello, good
Hello.
morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Hong Kong Studies Circle and the Hong Kong Philatelic Society. Welcome to this month's joint meeting. Tonight is going to be a solo presentation by an expert. He's a renowned expert of the Hong Kong and Treaty Ports. Mr. Charles Chan, he's been really is amazing guy. That he actually is the person who translated web in Chinese, and he's done a lot of studies and written a lot of papers in journals and newsletters, etc. So he's a very knowledgeable guy, and I really envy him for. He has the time to do it. Basically, I mean, it's quite amazing. I mean, he's not retired, and he's got a very busy job, but he still can find time to do all this research. And his research is absolutely amazing and thorough. So I mean, he go to all these archives and places to dig out various things which you will see in his presentation. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Charles, if you're here. Charles?
Yes.
Yes, you are here, right? Okay. Yes, it's now yours. Okay, please carry on. And can you share screen, please? I'm going to stop sharing. Right, okay, fine.
Can you guys read the screen now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, maybe it's just Susan, therefore I can say to the singular number, lady. Welcome to all philatelic friends and all over the world, and I would like to present you talking about the establishment of the Hong Kong local mail establishment in the Queen Victoria period. This is a very narrow subject that for the Hong Kong postal history concentrates only on the local mail establishment that was completed at the time of QV period. And later on, the other kings, Edward, George, is just followed the suit, and just with the postal rate increase due to the inflation. Therefore, or the opening of a various branches, and etc. Therefore, I'm not going to extend further to other periods, but only confined to QV time for the establishment. This slide shows the early time city of Hong Kong, named as Town of Victoria. That is in the island north. This map is the town planning in 1855, showing the coastal line of 43 and 55 with the proposal of a reclamation. Therefore, you can see that the city of the Hong Kong city is a very small one. At that moment in time, the Hong Kong PO was moved nearby the shore. It was the old PO. No branches PO yet until the 1898. Kowloon and Western branch were opened. Here are some certain background information that those studying the Hong Kong postal history should be well aware and familiar with. It is just a recall from memory. Hong Kong was established by the British troops, landed at around Possession Street on 22nd January 1841. Other things say that it is landing on 21st of January evening, but raised the jet flag on 22nd January. Okay, but well, no matter what it is. In 1841 August, the PO Hong Kong established. And by letter of letters patent signed by the QV on 5th of April 1843, this is constitutionally officially established this colony of Hong Kong. The first postmaster, Mr. Thomas Scale, was appointed by London, who left London in November 1843 and arrived in Hong Kong in March 44. The first PO regulations of the 5th April 1844 took effect on 10th of April was to deal with mails to UK and foreign countries only. And Mr. Scale also advised the governor that postal service was arranged for the first 5 street ports, Chosan and also Macao, at the rate of 4 pence per half ounce. In September 1845, the P&O extended its British packet service to Hong Kong, the China waters, but no calling Macao and Canton. All the mails in River Delta region, Hong Kong, Canton, Macao, Lingding Island, etc., could be carried by pirate boats. Therefore, technically, 4 pence ship letter rate per half ounce applied. And the Canton consulate complained 4 pence rate was too high. And merchants also appealed to London to see if it can be reduced or not. But London insists that it was pirate ship letter rates. No compromise. And Hong Kong, the first enactment of the Post Office Ordinance in 1862, Section 11, confirmed that the ship letter rates would be 4 pence. And below, we can see the chopped out pictures for that PO ordinance and the relevant section 11. Before the colonization of Hong Kong, mail between Canton and Macao was carried by pirate boats. Because 4 pence postage was too expensive, most merchants sending mail between these 3 places by pirate boat instead of through the post office. Why I get such introduction here? Because it is a historical events of a pirate mail from to Hong Kong and from to Hong Kong, Canton and Macao, because later in 1876, these 2 places became enjoying the local rates. The event of 1846 is quite obvious that the steamer Postage event was an attempt of the GPO to counteract the pirate mail in Delta region. Although the shipmaster refusing to carry mail for GPO to Canton and was found guilty in court with heavy penalty of 100 pounds. It's a very big sum at that moment in time. Then the case got strong opposition from the merchant, condemned the government yelling, saying that the mail between Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao was no packet service. Government just imposed heavy penalty without doing anything. Therefore, no one cared about that. And the mail between these 3 places were still carried by pirate vessels. Hong Kong government seemed to be no IC situation. Okay, although this would cause a great losses to the public revenues of Hong Kong. Canton and Macao were proclaimed to be local to enjoy the local penny rate 1 penny or 2 cents by an order of a governor-in-council took effect on 19 June 1876. And it is very, very late for GPO Hong Kong to engage a mail conveyancing contract with a Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao company. It is an Austin Hart company in 1897, almost the turn of the century, to carry mail between the three places in the Delta region, Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao. Therefore, the collectors generally consider Hong Kong and Macao enjoying the local rates of postage in the early time of QV time because it's a nearby location of Hong Kong. It is incorrect, plainly and clearly. The content of this presentation will be mainly in 4 parts: Pioneer, the River Delta region, pirate ship letter mail, the local letter mail, postcard, local postcard, and the last part will be the local bulk mail of circular. The Pioneer pirate ship letter mail will be including the pre-colonization of Hong Kong and immediate after colonization of Hong Kong. Hello? Okay. In 1830s, Canton and Macao mail carrying was on the hand of the pirate firm, Marwick family, who carrying the passenger boat service and also with a mail transmission. Each letter was 10 cents. The company name changed a few times. 1830, Marwick and Ling. 1835, Marwick Edward and Company, because the partner changed. 1837, Marwick and Smith admitted a new partner. And the firm was dissolved in 1839, shortly after the outbreak of the First Opium War. These were 2 advertisements inserted in newspaper Canton Register in March 1835 and April 1836. The 1836 advertisement clearly specified the rates for passengers, and also for the letter is 10 cents each, and for the parcel, according to bulk, it may be 25 cents. I don't know. Maybe. No evidence for that. But there were 2 records of the 25 cents. This is an example of an 1835 entire letter Canton to Macao with the boat office Macao 10 cents hand stamp, large hand stamp in bright red inking. It's quite scarce. Mostly, the inking will be in orange-red inking. It clearly shows that the postage is 10 cents. That is one of the 2 recorded covers with the boat office 25 cents. It came from a famous collection, Fred Meyer collection. It was also appeared in 1980 Ishikawa Sofa Sale. It's not number 548. It looks to be a partial record, maybe. But from the appearance, it doesn't like a letter, not entire. Therefore, maybe it is, as the advertisement noticing that for the partial post will be in that way. but no information about that. This cover is a 1846 letter wrapper of the Bush and Company, Hong Kong, to Canton, Austin Hart and Company. Webb mentioned 26 examples being recorded. Webb's book 343. However, little information is available for the merchants carrying mail by pirate boats up down the River Pearl to Canton. What is the meaning of a Western line? Nobody knows. Webb considered it referred to River Pearl, but I'm thinking that the Western line may be referred to the West River West, because the Pearl River system with three main streams, East River, Donggang, is what the water we are now drinking is come from China's Donggang, water from River East. Another is River West, Saigon. Another is Zhugang, okay, it's the Pearl River. And the River West, the sailing can be up to Huzhou of Guangxi province, Zhao. Therefore, maybe this line was operated with the intention to go to Guangxi province. I don't know. Not much information about this line is doing. Therefore, I'm hard to conclude whether or not in that way. I'm being asked by several guys before what means by Western line. What's the Western line? But I can't give a firm answer. But just saying that okay, in that way, maybe it is the River West. Can go to the River West. Other pirate mail service marking in the Delta region, including this only known post boat marking. It's also come from the Fred Mayer. Another per Yuxan marking, 4 examples, was recorded. Also come from the Fred Mayer. Next, I come to the pirate ship letter Hong Kong to Canton in 1850. It is a 1850 June letter privately carried from the UK Morrison family to Hong Kong, then sent through Hong Kong PO to Canton. It is the only recorded prepaid stampless cover Hong Kong to Canton, paying the 4-pence ship letter rate. There are few records for the unpaid covers to Canton in that way, paying the 4-pence ship letter rate. But it is the only prepaid cover. Here, I would like to express my sincere thanks to a fellow collector to let me have this wonderful and important item. Again, thank you a lot. The next will be a only recorded stamped cover paying the 4D rate to Macao in 1868, carried by the pirate merchant boat. And it is the earliest recorded stamped cover paying the excess rate Hong Kong to Macao. Okay, come to the part 2, the local letter mail, starting 1870s. What is Victoria? Okay, Victoria, the town of Victoria, came from the first governor, Pottinger, Sir Henry Pottinger, proclaimed the exchange of a Treaty of Nanking on June 26, 1843. And he immediately directed the Pleasant City on the northern side of the island be distinguished by Her Majesty's name, Victoria. It is gazetted in the flag of China. I can enlarge a little bit for the newspaper. And you guys can read it. The city of Hong Kong, town of Victoria, was small. Its extent covered today's Shangwang, Central, and part of Wan Chai, at that moment in time called Hawa. Small town within walking distance, it seems no need for local man. The coolie or delivery man of commercial firms can carry goods and correspondence within the town. Why need to mail that? There was no house-to-house delivery. Everyone want to post a letter or collect mail need to go to the windows of GPO. Therefore, there will be no way to mail a local letter. The exact time for establishment of the Hong Kong local mail is unknown yet. Unlikely will be in 1860s because the first PO ordinance enacted in May 62 only mentioned the 4D ship letter rate. It also provided the power to the governor to make rules and regulations for PO, including the postal rates. But no such things was found for the local rates. Webb's book, page 178, outlined the reason for the first ordering of stamps in 1861. The first issues of Hong Kong is 1862, December. Okay. It mentioned that the 2 cents was for soldiers' letter rate to UK, and also for the newspaper and printed circular rate. Totally, there was no mentioning for 2 cents for local letters. Perhaps at that moment in time, there was no such intention to establish Hong Kong local mail. Therefore, I think it is remote to have such things in 1860s. Local mail would have started and commenced in 1870s, but unfortunately, no gazetted PO notice is found for its exact time of establishment. But the ordinance, the law of Hong Kong, provided that any postal rates announced by the GPO need to be made to the public. That means it should be gazetted. But sorry, I cannot find such a notice. The term town postage, Victoria, was first appeared in China Mail of January 8, 1876. It was a revised table of Hong Kong rates of postage, dated January 1st, 1876. The meaning of revised may be referring to local rates might be already in place, but when, nobody knows. This is the copy of the China Mail dated 8th January 1876. I enlarged the portion over here is the town postage, Victoria letter, newspaper, book, or patents, 2 cents. This 2 cents rate, penny rate, per half ounce was in force throughout the rest of the QE period. Despite the first known or published to the public for local rates in January 76, local letters paying 2 cents rate was known as early as on 1st January 1873. Richard Gert's book, QE list of the covers, recorded 5 covers in 1870s, paying 2 cents local rate. Details are below. But sorry that the last example of September 24th, 1879, the 2 cents cover, was challenged by BPA and with a bad certification for that. Therefore, it will be now 4. This 1879 local cover was appear in Asia auction, December 2012, as lot number 3239. I was told by the then owner, Jeffrey, that the 2 cents failed to obtain the good certification from BPA. Doubtful for the stamp whether original or not. I've told Richard Gertz for this information, but he's still included in his list of QE covers. I put here just for reference. This is one of the 4, before it's a 5, okay, recorded town letter in 1870. There's an 1875 cover, a town letter of Hong Kong to a solicitor in Hong Kong. It was certified by BPA, Genius. Another is a double weight town letter. It will be really, really scary one. I've known only 2 examples. In 1878. Another example was known and date 21st of March, same year, 1878. Also addressed to the same addressee, North China Insurance Company. Also cancelled B62 with the Hong Kong CDS, 21st of March. Another example. Then now I go to the historical event of a local mail applied to Canton and Macao. This is a very important situation. Quite a long waiting since the 1846 Corsair event. It is on the slide 6, number 6. Ultimately, it got an order of Governor in Council that Canton and Macao were included as local, proclaimed as local, and enjoyed the penny rate, effective 19 June 1876. Proud saying for the July 1st, 76 would be incorrect, a little bit late. On the table is an extract of the order, the governor order. This is the earliest recorded example of ordinary letter, Canton to Hong Kong Cancel C1 in December 1878. It was from Richard Chan. Quite a wonderful example. Next, I will talking about the local letter mail in 1880. Proud described the postal affairs in 1880s as also not very good. It is cannot be said with a house-to-house delivery. The great majority of the mail were delivered at the PO counter to the recipients. If posting a letter, a local letter at GPO Central and require the recipient to attend to the GPO window to collect it, seems to be totally nonsense at that moment in time. Therefore, posting a local letter in Hong Kong was still very, very unusual in 1880s. But we still have some example. This one is a December 1886 local letter to a guest of Hong Kong Hotel. At the right side, you can see this Chinese numerics. It means 166. 166 repeated in numeric over here. Okay, this one is a whole. Okay, number 166. It is a Suzhou numerals, an old-style Chinese numeric system. This is another 1887 local letter to the consulate of France in Hong Kong. I can say not common and unusual. Next, I'm talking about the local letter from to the Peak. Peak tramcar service started on 30 May 1888. The PO notice of 18 November 1888 saying that loose letterbox to be installed in the tramcars, and the senders can send the letters, drop the letter in the box. The senders was advised by GPO that to write stamped, this word stamped across the stamp in order to avoid robbery of the stamps during mail transit to GPO in Central. However, some guys may write cancel or a date across the stamp. And this is the PO notice concerning about the peak delivery and also the letterbox, okay, and the tram car. This is an example of 1897 December. It comes from the peak to a guest of Hong Kong Hotel, with a date writing across the stamp, 23rd December. We can find quite a number of examples of that. Okay, keep an eye on. Next, I'm talking about the local letter mail island to Canton. In 1860, South Kowloon up to the Boundary Street was ceded to UK after the Second Opium War. And on 1st of January 1898, under a 99 years term lease between UK and China, Qing Dynasty at the moment time, Hong Kong boundaries would extend to North Kowloon and new territories. South Kowloon at the very beginning was an undeveloped area in early days, described as a place with very few people and with almost no establishment in a map attaching to the Treaty of Peking, 1860. I will show later. There were no commercial establishment in Kowloon. It was until 1886 Hong Kong and Kowloon Wharf established the wharf and go-down business in Tsim Sha Tsui area. Therefore, early mail to and from Hong Kong would be quite remote in 1880s and early 90s. One point need to emphasize, quite a number of mails to address to Custom Kowloon. Some guys may consider it is to Kowloon side, sorry. The Customs Kowloon headquarters was located in central of Island side. Customs Kowloon was in Queen Road Central, now nearby New World Center, opposite of the landmark. It is the map, the Chinese counterpart, okay? English and other Chinese, okay? And it outlined what was the situation of the South Kowloon at the moment in time. I enlarged the map. Let you to see the inscription over here. 此一帶皆係山崗不毛之地. This area was hilly place with very few population or establishment over there. Technically, there was no detailed survey, land survey in this area at the moment in time. The next one is an 1861 Kowloon Land Use Planning Map. And with a certain proposal of the batteries at Tsim Sha Tsui. Proposed battery at Tsim Sha Tsui. This area. And also proposed cantonment in around Yamate area. There's a proposed church. Another proposed battery at Hom Ham area. Others are farms, I can say, and also hilly place over here. I show these two maps over here in order to tell you that the early time Kowloon, I can say at the moment in time, is with a very little population and establishment, and only with some guns and battery over there to protect the harbor. Besides that, nothing else. Well, until the 1886, Hong Kong and Kowloon Wharf established some go down and move over Tsim Sha Tsui area. Other than that, no more. That is an early letter, 1892, from the Hong Kong Island to Kowloon side. It comes from Macao, is the cover back. A house of a Benjamin Passy, his father-in-law of James Bell Ivan. James was Hong Kong HSBC chairman in 1898 and 99, and also executive council and legislative council member in 1892, 93, 95, 96 to 1902. It would be a letter mail at Pit Tram May Road Station, drop post to the letterbox installed in Pit Tram car, transmit to GPO to Canton B62, carrying by GPO steam launch across the harbor to Kowloon for further delivery to Lieutenant McCarthy. The Mahkamah, the house, is now at the main row of the peak, now known as the Cavalry Court, a luxury apartment over there. Another, I show you the 1889, the PMG annual report that GPO was equipped with a steam launch for the landing and delivery of mail in the harbor when the ship arrived with mail, and also the ship are going to depart. Therefore, they have their own steam launch. And also, it is intention to establish a harbor delivery for the ships piling in Hong Kong, Victoria Harbor. Next, I will talk about the local letter to Macau with the physical stamp. Outline some of the basic history. The Macau joined UPU in March 1844, and the Hong Kong Honorary Agency ceased to operate. No packet service between Hong Kong and Macau. Therefore, even GPO accept the letter for Macau and Canton, they were put into the pirate boat. And GPO was obligated to pay the shipmaster a gratuity of 1 cent per each letter, in accordance with PO Ordinance 1887, Section 19, subsection 4. I've cooked the relevant section over here. And in 1891, the Postmaster General annual report is complained for several times. Complain again. The pirate ship mail is so is affecting the public revenue of Hong Kong a lot. And even the shipping company carry mail to Macau and Canton free of charge, and asking the government to enforce the law. Therefore, you can see at that moment in time, mail through the post office to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to Macau and to Canton is so scared at that moment in time, because nobody, I can say, nobody cared to post a letter in a post office to Canton and Macau. Well, this is, I took one of the cover that to Macau, flanked to 2 cents knowledge, physical stamp. It is a registered official mail, but no registration fee was payable by government, because, well, it is just a left pocket and right pocket situation. Therefore, it may be waived. This got the certification from the Royal. At the very beginning, Royal considered the circle R would be a little bit odd at the moment in time. But I show Royal for another example, also a Majesty Service envelope to Java, also with the same situation, just paying the postage and register a circle R over there, but without paying the registration fee. Therefore, in order to conclude that no registration fee was payable for government mail at the moment in time. Another is a cover to Macao, flanked with a large format QV numeric physical stamp. Someone may be unhappy about this cover or else, but it got royal certification. Perhaps it may be quite odd, maybe philatelic or else, I don't know. But it was with back stamp of Macao as arrival. Therefore, it was through the post. I will let it be. Continue the mail smuggled in out Hong Kong from to Macao and Canton, causing great revenue loss of Hong Kong. Ultimately, in May 1897, it was the first time for GPO to sign a contract with the Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao Steamboat Company, 省港澳火船公司, to convey mail between Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao. The picture showed that one of the ships, Kim San steamer, in around 1890 of the Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao Steamboat Company. This company was established by Austin Hart and Company. It is one of the letter that in April 1898, a local letter Canton to Hong Kong carried by the GPO contracted ship, steamer Powell. It is a 1903 local letter that go to Taiping, Guangzhou. Taiping is a suburban area of Canton at the moment in time. It was carried by the steamer Hao of the Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao Steamboat Company. It go to Taiping, Dongguo. At the cover back, it is with a very scale one, Taiping, Impel China, Taiping, Tombstone, okay. And also a bilingual Canton CDS as transit. Now I go for the local letter using the postal stationery envelope. In 1900, it was the first time for the GPO to issue the stamp in printed postal stationery envelope, of which the 2 cents postal envelope was for printed circular post and local letter rate. Most of the 2 cents postal envelope was used for printed letter mail abroad. Quite seldom to see for mailing of a local letter. It is a 1901 example. 2 cents green postal envelope, Hong Kong to Canton. It was carried by the steamer Fushan, okay. Unfortunately, steamer Fushan was damaged and sunk during 1862, 1860 something. I think it's the typhoon, one day at the moment time. Another is a very scale one, the postal station envelope 2 cents, posting locally in Hong Kong. It will be hand carried from the island east, a drop post in the pillar box in Causeway Bay, sending to the factory of Black Hat in Central. Black Hat had a Southgate 1 factory in the island east. That is a very famous merchant house at the moment in China. In 1897, September 11th, GPO notice announced to install loose letterbox on busship of the contracted vessels to Macao. That means it is Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao Steamboat Company ships. The mail prepaid in Hong Kong stamp posted to the said letterbox installed in the vessels will be treated as fully paid at Macao and will be delivery free. And this one was the notice, PO notice. It is a very rare example, considered to be the only recorded local letter Hong Kong and Macao post a busship for the GPO contracted packet ship. It was carried by Hong San, steamer Hong San, a contracted steamer of Hong Kong, Canton, and Macao Steamboat Company. Using a very scale size postal envelope. It is shorter size. You can see the shorter size. It's a web size B. Because it was a post on board ship, therefore no cancellation of Hong Kong. Upon arriving Macao, it entered the postal system. Macao cancelled the stamp. Here. We come to the part 3, introduction of the postal cards. In February 1880, GPO introduced UPU formula postal card. The local rate was 1 cent for Hong Kong, Canton, Macao, and this rate also applied to treaty ports of China and Japan, and also certain Southeast Asia countries. It specified Siam, Cochin China, Ukraine, and the Philippines. 1 cent for the postcard each. It is the PO notice. An example of 1883, 1 cent green postal card, Canton to Hong Kong. It was carried by pirate ships, the China Merchant Steam Navigation Company, Yongqing steamer, the steamer Yongqing. Come from the Canton to Hong Kong, arrive from Hong Kong, manuscript in red was added by Hong Kong in order to facilitate the postal coolie to deliver the mail to the recipient. Another postcard, 1887, March, from Shanghai to Tokyo. As mentioned before, the PO notice. The local rate also apply to Japan. This is one of the example. And also, upon arrival of the postcard in Japan, it also got some handwriting in here in red. It is also the postal courier of Japan delivery note. It was in Japanese. And it is the arrival and stamp of Tokyo. It was dated 203112. It was the 20th year of Empire Ming-Chi regime, 1887, March 11 at 2 p.m. I don't think it's 2 a.m. Okay? Therefore, it's 2 p.m. Should be. That's another postcard from Shanghai to Macau via Hong Kong. At the back, it got a quite scale arrival of the Type C crown Macau strict CDS. With the crown removed. This one is for the rare destination to Bangkok. As mentioned before, the postage table, the 1 cent rate also applied to CM, certain Southeast Asia countries. Okay, this one to Bangkok in 92. It's a quite scale, or it's a rare destination. Surcharge postcard. Hong Kong run out of inventory of a 1 cent green postal card in 1880 and 86. Therefore, GPO used the 1 cent hand stamp to surcharge 4 cents gray and 3 cents brown cards. It is an example in 1882 for 1 cent surcharge on 4 cents gray card. With the inception, we have been Desi and London deleted. Also, it got the manuscript in Chinese for the postal courier delivery purpose. Another example is a 1 cent surcharge on 3 cents card. It is to the custom card room. And it canceled a small KB CDS with the index C reverse. I think we have discussed this correspondence and this kind of small KB CDS quite in depth before. The part for the last part will be the establishment of local bulk mail of circulars. I think I've talked about this subject. I think 2 months ago. Yeah, maybe just a recall and put the things together so that other parties not attending that meeting 2 months ago can share this kind of information. The governor in order on January 4th, 1888, established a new type of a local bulk mail circular. This notice was gazetted on January 14th. Local bulk mail will be for circulars, dividend wallets, invitation cards, patents, bills, and etc. Addressed to Hong Kong and ports of China, but not Macao. Be careful, but not Macao. Postal rate will be 1 cent per each. In quantity of at least 10 of the same size and same weight. The weight cannot be exceed 2 ounces for circulars. For patent, cannot exceed 4 ounces in weight. Postage must be prepaid in cash or on account with the senders maintained with GPO. The right side was the extract of that governor order. Because 1 cent stamp was not available in QE time, particularly in 1888 this period. Therefore, on May 11th, 1894, it got another government notice for the regulations of bulk circular mail. It will use a paid hand stamp to denote postage prepaid. According to the clause 3 of this notice, the paid hand stamp should be kept by the senior postal clerk under lock and key. A special counter in GPO with the inception for circulars will be open for handling of bulk mail circulars. And also a logbook called the circular book will be kept by the senior clerk. The circled paid hand stamp is a web type X. The POW type PD23 was in red inking for circulars, but this marking also known in black for government mail. Below is the earliest record of the red paid circular in March 1891. This showed that this hand stamp was already in use for a few years ahead of the said regulations of 94. This is the paid hand stamp. Another 1897 March, bulk mail circular to Hong Kong to Canton. At the right corner, we can see a pencil mark over here, 1 cent, to indicate the postage paid for this bulk mail circular. In 1900, it was 12 years after establishment of the local bulk mail circular rate. GPO was the first time to issue 1 cent yellow imprinted postal envelope for the purpose, but not issuing the 1 cent postal stamp. 1 cent postal stamp was first appeared in King Edward VII in 1903. It is a postal envelope sent to a ship piling in Hong Kong harbor. Therefore, it will be carried by the steam launch, as I mentioned before. The bottom, I have added some notes concerning about this ship, Marburg. It is a German cargo steamer arriving Hong Kong November 22nd, 1903. May be piling nearby the Kowloon Wolf and Company. Well, this cover was shown in the last, I think 2 months ago. I think the meeting 2 months ago. It is a postal envelope with a T mark to Canton. It got the arrival of the Canton CDS Index A and was charged with 2.5 centimes. That means it is 1 cent. Well, I have a discussion with Andrew before concerning about this possibility of circular being taxed in that way, because it's quite scared. Okay, there will be 2 possibilities. It was drop post in the street pillar box instead of posting at the GPO special counter for circular post. It was a rule laid down in 1894. Therefore, it is not eligible for the 1 cent bulk mail rate. It will be treated as an ordinary letter. Therefore, it is underpaid. Therefore, it was taxed. Another possibility will be it was posted in the GPO circular post counter in bulk, but subsequent inspection by the postal staff found something inside this envelope was of letter nature. Therefore, it should be rate 2 cents as a letter rate. It was underpaid and being taxed in that way. These were the major reference books I was referring to, and thank you very much. And this ends my presentation. That I will give it back to the host, and any question you can raise.
Thank you very much, Charles. It's an absolutely fascinating subject. Very little known about it, and obviously not a lot of material in the market, because you rounded them up all in the last 30 years. I would really like to have a Hong Kong Kowloon letter in the Victorian period. So anyway, yes, it is a fascinating subject, and very little research about it. And I've actually seen another exhibit of that kind of covering that kind of area at all. Anyhow, I'm sure that we actually have about 21 participants, 21 people attending this presentation. I'm sure that you will have some questions for Charles.
20 persons, so many people are there.
Yes, yes, it's a record-breaking one, Charles. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So would any one of you like to ask some questions, please?
Charles, where's your Ningpo item?
I beg your pardon?
Where is your Ningpo item? It's an inside joke. Charles got that comment from a big FIP juror.
Okay. I can say he cannot distinguish what means the local mail and what means treaty port mail. Because he saw including local mail of Hong Kong with the Canton things and Macao things. He just thinking that why not Ningpo? It is rare covers of treaty ports. Why there's no such covers? Therefore, he was yelling without looking in details of introduction and without running through the whole history of the layout of the exhibit. Therefore, he opined that I omit a very important piece of a cover of Ningpo. But sorry that local cover, local mail has its definite definition by reference to law and regulations. No bullshit. I have shown you the relevant law, ordinance, PO notice, and regulations gazetted in Hong Kong. Therefore, I'm not bullshit. He was bullshit, okay?
Oh, they're a pain, these judges, aren't they?
Susan?
Overwhelmed.
Just overwhelmed.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now, yeah, I thought that you see, in the Victorian times, you know, Hong Kong was still relatively small. I think you know the reason why the local mail and local letters were so scarce because I think, you know, even walking from one district to another, it would probably take about, say, maybe half an hour or something. And if you employ a coolie to take a letter from, say, maybe Sai Ying Pun to Central, I mean, the fees would be less than the local rate was 2 cents. So perhaps that's why there's not very little point for people sending letters, you know, locally. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Charles would agree. Otherwise, you would have an abundance of letters because there's still a lot of commercial firms around, solicitors. Particularly, he showed a few of these Stevenson Homes solicitors' letters. So I mean, you know, if you have commercial business signing of contracts, the solicitors would be sending letters to firms and things like that. But they probably had a coolie, or you know, had somebody who, you know, a courier, you know, who took the letters to various places to save money.
Agree. Because, well, just saying that, Andrew, you mentioned that some of the letters, very scale one in the early days of 1870s, was with addressee of solicitors. Maybe for some reason in the legal point of view that some of the wit of the court or the summons issued by the court was required to be serviced by mail. Therefore, they have no choice for hand delivery, but send through the post. To prove that, in order to prove to the court that the writ or summons was duly serviced by post. And there was another one I just recorded, a 4 cents local mail to a North China insurance company. That may be to file a claim with the heavy document to the insurance company. Therefore, it will be so bulky and weight as double weight letter. Otherwise, I think, as you said, why just sending a messenger go there to dump the letter to the recipient instead of going through the post office? You need to mail the letter in the GPO central and telling the recipient to go to GPO central windows to collect the letter. It's totally nonsense. But sorry, there may be some legal reasons or insurance reasons that require the sender to send it by mail and letter. That's my point of view for that.
How about the military?
You need to write it up. You need to write it up and give it to Professor Shaw, because the local mail, that is, you need to put it in writing. Then you show the exhibit afterwards.
Okay.
I'm sure the professor would be, welcoming the suggestion by Sam.
Yes, thank you, Sam, for the suggestions.
Yes.
You make work for me, Sam.
Yeah. Next journal.
Yeah.
Is prepared.
It will be tens of pages. Are you okay with that?
How about the military? In the garrisons, what would they do? Say, for example, you've got a garrison, say maybe in Kowloon, they want to send some to say maybe Sai Ying Pun. What would they do? Or to a ship? In fact, to a ship, maybe.
I think they will have their own arrangement for the transit of the military mail instead of sending from one fortress to another.
I'm sure there must have been quite well. There may be communication between the different barracks.
Yes, but it will not go for the civilian mail, right?
They would have
mail will be confidential. If you send that one to a civilian people, maybe through the ordinary mail, just like that letter, that only letter that from the island side to Kowloon lieutenant, right? In 1893.
I'm not okay. Official business, it could well be confidential. They have a private bag, but surely, in the later period, you see, say for example, the Fleet Mail Office. They actually send mail through the post office.
Yeah.
I think that's much later. It's not in the QB.
In fact, Doctor has raised an interesting question that I have not seen any ministry covers sending locally. That is quite interesting. Yeah, and I think Charles has got the cover from Hong Kong to Kowloon. Is it a ministry cover? That one?
I'll share it again, okay?
Yeah.
Let me see that. Where is it? Oh, sorry. I like the tip, okay? Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Hong Kong regiment.
Yeah, but that's probably private letter.
Yeah.
Not
Probably it's a private one.
Yeah, there would be a regimental cachet or something on it if it's a military.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a professor.
This is not endorsed by anyone. This one, yeah. Maybe a private mail.
Yeah, but you collect military mail. So what's your view?
Haven't got any cover sent locally. In fact, yeah. My covers are to overseas or from overseas.
Mostly, yeah. They'll be sending letters back to their family.
Yeah, to England or to elsewhere. This is very interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting because you know, there's a Tamar, HMS Tamar. You know, you have a ship right in the middle of the harbor, and was it the hospital ship? So there must have been quite a few people inside the ship. You know, sort of, so they must need to communicate with people.
Yes.
That's my idea. So, well, maybe they exist, but Charles hasn't got his hands on them yet.
Yeah. We haven't seen any from the auction, from the recent auction either.
Yeah. Anyway, something for Charles to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Andrew, at least from the Sea Force diaries, they were very specific that they sent their own couriers each day from camp to camp and then camp to post office. It was described that they sometimes run it twice a day, but that's just for 1941 November. So.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Thank you.
Andrew, I think you are interesting to make comment on this two films.
Oh, this one. Well, I got nothing to comment on it, basically. I mean, it's. Oh, you mean this one or that one?
This one, not much discussion for that, but this one.
Yeah, no. That one also too. I mean, you know, also too. I think because the thing is the use of unusual adhesives raises the question of whether it has a philatelic flavor.
Well, the thing is that, Andrew, remember that this small size 2 cents physical stamp was in use in Christmas time.
Hey, that doesn't. I know, but that doesn't matter. I mean, you know that you know. I mean, it has a philatelic. I mean, it doesn't mean that it didn't go through the post. I mean, it has some kind of philatelic connotation to it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the covers they have. I mean, you know, addressed to stamp dealers, addressed to postcard collectors. Postal stationery, cards and covers, envelopes addressed to collectors. I mean, it's a common thing. Otherwise, how would they obtain the used example from different parts of the world? I mean, that's what they do. They just write to friends in a particular colony or particular place and ask them to send something to them. So I mean, hey, it's common practice. I mean, especially. You know, for philatelics, I mean, stamp collecting had been around for a long time. So you know, it just look too clean, and you know, to me, I mean, well, that's fine. I mean, it's still. I mean, you know, it's not a handbag or fake. That's my feeling. That's all.
Okay. Well,
I may be wrong.
I think I need to outline something about this physical stamps to cents. At the end of the 1890 December, the last week around Christmas time,
Yeah.
GPO was sought for the 2 cents carmine.
Yeah, I know, but
Maybe all the carmine stamps were sending to Norwanda for the over.
yeah, I know, I understand.
Yeah.
With the lack of stamps, but you know, the people would have their own stock.
Yeah.
You see, so I mean, okay, they ran out of stamp. It doesn't mean that there's no more stamps. I mean, it's, you know, you ran out of the 5 cents, 1938. You know, you replace it with fiscal. But you know, I'm pretty sure that there's some people who would have stocks of the normal 5 cent at home. So you know, I mean, it's just like, you know, unless you actually went to the post office there at the time, and then when you post a letter. But you know, some people, if they have a stamp at home, will stuck it on. I mean, you know. Oh, and actually, I got a message from Neil Granger, who commented on the circular R, which seems to be in a different shade of black than the CDS.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Looks
about
from your scan anyway, at least.
I think it's our same meeting.
Well, hello, Simon here. My own comment on discovery is that there is no registration number for discover. Yeah, if there's no registration fee collected, that means that registration is not applicable to official mail. But then why was there R in circle mark applied, and in fact there is no registration number alongside or on top of the cover? I think that's my only comment on this one. Thank you.
Simon, even if the cover back do not have a number.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, an interesting question. Yeah. Sorry, I cannot offer an answer for that. Should be with a number.
Okay.
Let me see for another example that I got for the Java. Let me see. Oh, where is it? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
And there's another cover of Her Majesty Service envelope that's sending to Java.
There's a number there.
Yeah, you can see maybe 18. Okay.
So I think 18. You think 18 or the 3 at the bottom?
No idea.
Yeah.
Maybe 18 for Hong Kong, 3 for Java.
No. The number could be the 3. 18 looks like in pencil, and
The date was 18.
Well, either
The
one.
date was 18, November 18.
Oh, November. May the 18th. May the 18th. No, it's
May
like an
18th.
8 rather than 18. I don't know. There's some numbers there anyway.
Could the 3 be? Could the 3 be that it's a triplicate? I mean, I know they often sent 2 copies to make sure one got there. Could that be the 3rd?
Yeah. There's certainly many numbers around. Yeah.
This is the cover back.
The cover back. The corner is probably the dealer's mark.
Yeah.
But nice. What's that?
It carry the GPO
From
seal over here.
GPO, General Post Office. Seal.
I turn that around.
General
Post office.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More easy to read.
Hmm?
General Post Office.
No,
huh?
again, General Post Office. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
with the Royal Guard.
Yeah.
What's the word? Hong Kong. Yeah, that's right. Hong Kong. General Post Office, Hong Kong. Yeah. Very clear.
General Post
Office,
Office,
Hong Kong. Very clear.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, Royal Guard.
I'm over there. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. Now I can see the number there. But we assume that 18 is a number.
And also maybe accents will be the accounting sum. Registration fee.
8 cents.
Right?
Yeah, it's probably dealer's price.
Maybe $80,
80, yes.
80 pounds or else whatever.
Euro, something, €8, something like that. Anyhow, well, let's not dwell on that. Let's give other members opportunity to ask you some serious questions.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, any more questions from the floor? Okay, so well, I mean, in that case, I like to round up the evening. We have had a very enjoyable evening by Charles, who actually has just given us in-depth. It should show his in-depth knowledge of the subject, which certainly is an eye-opener for me. And you know, I better in future, you know, look for these covers for his benefit.
Thank you very much. I also thank you very much for Andrew to grant me knowledge and research for 34 marks people. Okay.
No. I always argue.
Out of the 35 full marks that he have won me.
Whatever you showed me, I will have doubts.
You can challenge, okay? You can challenge.
Anyway, so yeah, thank you very much, Charles. Yeah, you know, for excellent presentation, and I like to thank a record-breaking number of participants in this Zoom meeting, and I all like to thank FIAP for allowing us to use the channel. Oh, I see Dr. Prakop is actually with us. So, Dr. Prakop, would you like to say a few words to end the evening, please?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Andrew. Good evening and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Charles, for such interesting and very knowledgeable presentations. We have seen some interesting postcards, especially the one sent to Bangkok, Siam,
Like
that you mentioned.
I know you like it a lot.
Right. So it was a pleasant presentation, and I did learn a lot from it.
Yeah.
And thank you, the HKPS for arranging, and Dr. Andrew for arranging this presentation, making use of the Zoom facility. And we hope that you keep on making this presentation available so that people can learn more about the materials. And that in other way, it would be good education or learning for some jurists to know the new materials that they may not know before, like me. I have seen lots of materials and certain knowledge about the local mails and this and that. So it may help you in the future when I happen to judge your exhibits. Right? Thank you again, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fakov. Right. Okay. On that note, we will close for the evening, I'm trying to arrange some more solo presentations in the next 6 months or so, and I have already 2 positive replies. And I know it's a lot of work actually to talk for 1.5 hours, but I know if you have some, sort of something that you have been researching for years, or you want to speak out and you want to ask some questions, I think this is pretty good avenue for doing so. Anyway, so it's a goodbye from me. And I think we owe Charles a round of applause for such a wonderful exhibit, for a talk. And I look forward to Charles actually doing a similar one, because he's obviously our current treaty port expert. And I invite him to talk about each port as a simple presentation in the future. So we actually will be
is a lot
for the next 1.5 years.
Oh,
Hey, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a good
yeah.
speaker. Yeah, so you be prepared. Okay. Right. Okay. Goodbye. And have a
Bye.
nice evening.
Thank
or
you, Andrew.
afternoon.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.